Hello everyone and welcome, I am Antizark and I went through and played EverQuest 2 Origins to show you what to expect when it comes out. One thing you may notice right away is you don't have the extra fervor, so fighting things are going to be a lot harder. I noticed early on that for resistances you have Elemental and Arcane, but Poison goes into Noxious, so keep an eye out for this when you're playing. Also, items that we commonly look for in the early game have different stats now, so they may not be as useful as you remember. You can see here where the Collected Shell Trinket only gives you 1 stamina, and also you saw earlier where the Feathered Necklace only gives you resistances. The other thing to keep in mind is that fighting is going to be much harder than you expect. You can see here where I am fairly overwhelmed with only 3 non-heroic enemies. While the wizard is fairly squishy, this would have been no problem in the regular live game. So grouping is important even before you leave the tutorial. One place very specific for this is the Source of Evil. It's the last area, and technically a dungeon for the tutorial area. You'll need a decent group to go in, otherwise you'll just get beat up. Also, crafting is rather important. Some of the items have gone back to their default state. That means they're going to give you whatever stat they give you, even if it's not one you can use. This is because when this part of the game came out, we used every stat, even though the stats are like they are in live, where your primary stat and stamina are the only ones that matter. Also, it may change when it goes live, but the skill upgrades are Apprentice 1 through 4, Adept 1 through 4, and Master. Master being the highest. Also, apparently 6 Conjurers is overpowered. If you didn't play before the side zones were taken out of the game, you'll notice something very different when you head to Kinos or Freeport. You're going to end up in one of the side zones that were originally in the game. These are places like Greystone Yard, Starcrest Commune, and Castleview Hamlet. A lot of the side quests eventually got moved out into the other parts of the city when these were closed down. Also, each one of these areas has a crafting section. You'll need these because guilds won't be available when you first start. You can maneuver around these side zones very quickly using the bells. You need to get every quest you can possibly get because it's going to give you a boost. Also, get the collections done because they give you great items and a lot of experience. This part of the game is going to be quite a slog to get leveled up. If you're used to leveling up fast, it's not going to happen in Origins. Another thing you might not expect, and one thing I haven't gotten to yet, is boat quests. Boat quests require you to do a long quest including heroic elements that will let you leave Nectalos Forest and the Thundering Steppes. They're also required for each unique zone after that. After you leave these starting areas and venture out from the city, you're going to do certain dungeons to get levels. Some of these dungeons include Black Burrow, the Wailing Caves, Stormhold, and things like that. If you're used to popping a few potions and running through content really fast, it's not going to happen here. You're going to group up and fight through all of these old dungeons and experience EverQuest 2 like it used to be. So gather your spells and swords and head on out to EverQuest 2 Origins to experience it for the first time or see it again. And I'll see you all in Norath.